Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to attend our presentation today. My name is Annalie Shane, and I'm a technical field trainer with VivoTech. Today, we're going to be going over VAST2 and the installation and setup. We'll go over some of the features of this easy-to-use VMS, and then I'll show you the basics on how to get started with your new install. If you have any questions at all, please email us at trainingna@vivotech.com. VAST2 is an easy-to-use IP video management software to meet users' real-world needs. It comes with exciting advancements such as easy operation on single or multiple monitors. It provides custom layouts, rapid export of videos, and then also works with VCA analytics with integrated cameras. Okay, VAST2 is for small to medium to large installations. It still includes 32 free licenses and has many other features such as add-on solutions. It's plug and play, and then quick detect, and then so many more. I want to go over some of the key features that are with our new version of VAST2. Okay, some of these, has been with VAST2 for a while, but we also have a lot more new features that I'll go over here as well. Okay, so we have multi-monitor tabs, so you can manage unlimited tasks with multiple screens for intuitive and easy surveillance. Okay, set up the views however you want. You can have your EMAP on one screen and then camera views on the other, or you can have multiple camera views on one screen and then have just one camera that's critical on another screen. You can add on solutions such as failover, transportation, transaction, or POS, and then data magnet integration for easy API SDK integration. You have auto streaming size for client applications. You can change the layout of your view to fit different camera types. You have advanced ways to search your videos using smart searches or thumbnail searches. Okay, with those thumbnail searches, that's going to produce snapshot previews to reduce the chance of choosing the wrong image. Okay, it's also going to help you to see the progression of what happened in the video in a much more efficient manner. Okay, with Smart Search 1, you can easily set up custom or critical areas and search for events only in that area, which is going to reduce the time that you spend searching through recorded video. Smart Search 2 and 2 Plus, you can search for human-based motion. And I'll go over some of this here in a little bit in the demo. The multi-sensor display modes. Once again, in the demos, I'll show you what we mean by using multi-sensor display modes. Matrix system for our video monitor walls. And then also it now supports remote focus. Okay, so any of our cameras that support remote focus, you can now configure that focus through VAST2. You can view 64 channels per monitor when viewing your camera's live and playback. It supports live multicast, cybersecurity management, and then also smart VCA integration. Let's go over some of the system requirements for this. So for your server and the client, if you want to look over the system requirements that can be found on the spec sheet or even on our website, go to www.vivotech.com/VAST2 and you can find the system requirements there. So basically 6th gen Intel CPUs and up. You need at least 4 gigs of RAM for the server and a minimum of 8 gigs for the client. You need gigabit Ethernet ports and 1 gig or higher video card that's going to support the direct 3D acceleration for your viewing stations. Okay, but keep in mind that if you're installing the server and the client on the same PC, you're going to need to evaluate the overall loading of the PC because it may take a lot more resources to do both on one machine. All right, so let's start off with the basics of just installing the software. Okay, so let me show you on where to go to download it. On VivoTech's website, go to Products, Software, VAST2. From here, you'll choose the Downloads tab. And then you can select whatever version that you're looking for. We have 64-bit, 32-bit, and then one for Mac OS. Once it's done, you can go ahead and unzip it. So extract the files, open up the extracted folder, and right now we're going to choose the VAST2 setup. The matrix is going to be done later. Agree to everything. Right here, you're going to notice that we're going to be installing the server and the client. We're not going to be using the Open VPN, so we'll just do the server only. Okay, and then your next option is going to be, you can choose the free version, which is 32 channels of VivoTech cameras only, and then you can try out the trial version, which is 60 days of 256 channel camera licenses, but also it includes any of the advanced license features as well. Okay, so after those 60 days of the trial version, it'll just downgrade it back to the free version, the 32 channels. You'll create your username and password here. And here's where you're going to set up the default recording path, the database path, and then any of your ports that you need. And then once it's done, it's completed, just click the close button. All right, so the first time that you're going to start VAST2, you're going to get this auto setup or the wizard. Okay, so we'll open up VAST2, log in with the password that we just created, and it's going to go through the wizard, find any of the cameras that are on the network. We'll select them and click authorize. Here's where we're going to enter in the username and password for those cameras. And then click next. Here's where we will choose the schedule for the recordings for VAST2, okay? I can choose all my cameras to record continuously. I can customize them. I can do it based on events only, so record on motion only as well here. So we'll just choose events only, and then I'll choose where I wanted to record it, which I'm showing I'm going to record it to my C drive, which by default, this is what it is. It's not recommended, so just take that into consideration. And then click ready to use, and now it's going to apply all my options that I created. Once that's done, I will automatically have my live view with all my cameras there. All right, so this is going to be live view. I want to go over the basic elements of your live view icons that you're going to see as soon as you start this up. Okay, so here is what it's going to look like with no cameras, and then you have a bunch of different icons, right? So let's go ahead and go over that. So over here, you have your live view tab, and then, or your live view and your search panel. Okay, here's going to be where we find our tabs, and we can create new tabs by clicking this plus button. Here's where I can change my layout if I want to create or view certain camera tours. This is my system resources, so my CPU and my memory load. This is for the system that VAST2 is currently installed on. Okay, then I have my applications icon, my alarm list, and settings. Now, if I were to click on my applications, here I can choose from dashboard. This is to see my system dashboard and any alerts that's going on if I have lost network connectivity to one of my cameras, or if my system resources are overloading somewhere, then that's where I'd find that in the dashboard. My emaps that I've created, data magnet, VCA reports, and then also perform event searches from here. If I select alarm list, This is going to provide me easy access to all my triggered alarms, such as tampering alarms, alarms reported by VCA Analytics, external devices connected via the DI pin, etc. And then my settings icon will get me to my settings menu. I could do a log search. Help is great because that's going to open up the manual for VAST2. And then about is where you're going to find the installed version of VAST2 and its device pack. Okay, so if I click on help, it'll pop up this menu here, and it'll show me what version I have of VAST2 that's installed, my device pack, and then I just click on this icon here if I want to update the device pack. All right, another pane that I want us to get familiar with is going to be the playback pane at the bottom of the page. It's hidden, but you can easily bring that into view by clicking this, this arrow button, okay? So let's go over some of these elements. So you can change the date and time for your search. Right here, this chain link is going to be for synchronized playback. If I want to view multiple cameras at one time, all at the same, showing the same date and time. My playback controls of play, backwards play, next frame, speed control all the way up to 64 times speed. I can export any of my recorded data that I choose with this button. The colored wheel is for event highlights. If I want to adjust my timeline from, say, minutes all the way up to several days, I can adjust that with these zoom in and zoom out buttons. The playhead, so this is where I'm going to be playing the video from, and then this entire line is considered my playback timeline and histogram. Okay, next I want to take a look at the side pane options that's available. So I can, with my sources tab, I can search my sources or my devices. Here's going to be my device tree. Okay, so I'll have my sites here in the folders and then individually added cameras here. Okay, if I want to hide this side pane, all I have to do is click on this arrow. I can see the different views that I've created by clicking on the view icon, maps that I have available to me. It's really simple to add this to your live view. You just go under your maps and then click on whatever map you want to view and drag it over to one of the live view cells. And now you can view that along with your live view of your cameras for easy access to certain cameras. Okay, and then we also have our digital input and digital outputs. All right, now let's take a look at our individual live cells and get familiar with the control options available to those. Okay, so if I were to right click on an individual view cell, this is the options that I would have. I can digitally zoom, I can take snapshots. If I want to adjust the viewing quality of that camera, I can choose here. It's going to change to whatever resolutions are available to me. Right now its default is going to be set to auto, but you can change it to where you're having the highest available resolution all the way to the lowest resolution that's available. Display information. So if I want to make changes to what's displayed on the view cell, such as like the camera name or the date and time or human detection area, motion cells, any of those kinds of things, I can make that change from here under display information and then edit display information and check off anything that you want to remove or to add on. Okay, adding a layout. If I create a customized layout, I can do that from here. I can add a view, create new views. I can replace a view. If I want to remove this one camera view, then click on remove. If I want to remove all of the camera views, click on remove all. Next to take a look at is going to be these control elements at the top right. Okay, so it just depends on what kind of camera that you've selected as to what control elements you have at the top. So for this camera, I have snapshot, I have smart search, and I have playback. Okay, right here, I want to show you the different icons that are available based on the different types of cameras. So you'll notice here is on the top left is my FD9365. This camera has remote focus on there. So that is what this icon to the left of snapshot is to control that optical zoom. Okay, so I can hit the plus button to zoom in. And there's the out button, and then here's some more features that I have available. I can change the zoom speed, and then I can also automatically focus my camera. The next camera is going to be a fisheye. This button right here is going to enable PPTZ. Now what that is going to be panoramic PTZ. So if you're using this fisheye in coordination with a PTZ, you can use VAST2 to set it up as to where you want the PTZ to focus in on. Next option is going to be for fisheye dewarp. Okay, so I have all of these different options available to me, one original, 3 regional, 8 regional, 1 panoramic, 2 panoramic, etc. Okay, so I can make different changes to each of to this view cell. Okay, over here at the bottom left, you will see our multi-sensor. This is the MS9321. This camera has 4 different sensors. So remember earlier I was telling you guys about the multi-sensor viewing. So now we can view it different ways. So I have the default, which is going to be 1 panoramic. I can change it to be 1 regional. And I can pan and tilt and zoom as needed in there. I have the 1 panoramic and 2 regional, and I can move around the viewing cells here. And then finally, I have the 1 panoramic and 3 regional, and I can move it around as needed to focus on certain areas. You'll notice here, this is going to be at the bottom right is our speed dome. Okay, so in order to use the PTZ functions on VAST, make sure that the PTZ function is enabled, so it'll turn blue if it's enabled. Okay, I can zoom in and out with the controls here. And then I can go to home as well. Then you'll notice at the bottom right, I can stop the tours, I can set it to certain presets and then make other adjustments there as well. All right, adding camera views, super simple. Whenever you're trying to add camera views to your view cells, one thing that you can do is just grab a folder and drag and drop it, and it'll automatically populate all the camera cells in that folder. You can grab a single camera and drop it in as needed. You can replace a camera view just by grabbing one and dragging it on top of the view that you want to replace it with. If I want to switch positions, just drag it wherever you want to switch the camera views position from. And if I want to view one camera, just double click on it. Smart search. Okay, so this is for searching and recording videos, and it's going to accomplish that task much quicker with this technology. Okay, there's 3 different ones. We have Smart Search 1, 2, and 2 Plus, and I will go over each of those with you right now. So right now, we're going to take a look at the MS9321 and perform a smart search on there. So basically what this one's going to do is search for changes based on pixel changes. Okay, so we will draw our polygon wherever the areas that we want to see if there's any changes in pixels. Change your date and time from that left-hand panel. And then click search. It's going to search in that one area for any kind of motion detection, and we found one result within that 35 minutes. Okay, we'll click on it, and then we can view the recording here in that small window. If I want a bigger view, I just double click on it and it'll give me a bigger view, and now we can watch the recorded video for whenever there was motion in that area. All right, let's go with Smart Search 2. So this is going to be for human-related activity. Okay, so this is going to allow users to search for objects or even people-related videos according to the VCA metadata from the recorded videos. Okay, so what we're going to do is this one has Smart Motion. We're going to turn on the people detection, and you can make changes to the time filter here as well. And then once we click search, it's going to look for that metadata, making sure that it only brings up information for whenever there's humans. Okay, this search right here is 10 times faster than Smart Search 1 because it's looking just for metadata. Once again, you can play it and double click to make it in a bigger screen, and we can view our results. Next one I want to show you is going to be our Smart Search 2 Plus. So cameras that have a licensed VCA package can be searched with human behavior such as line crossing. Whenever you click on line crossing, you can create your line. And then the people walking direction, you can choose in, out, in, or both. You can search based on loitering. So if somebody stays within that box for 5 seconds, it'll produce the results for that. And then intrusion, for if somebody's intruding into the zone or leaving from the zone. You can search based on that criteria. And then any results would be automatically populated here. Playback and export. Okay, this is one of my favorite parts of how easy it is to export recorded video from VAST2. Okay, so we can go to a single view cell, click on the playback button at the top right, and now we can view any of the recorded data. I can drag the timeline at the bottom. I can make changes to the date or time here. One thing I do want to show you that I kind of skip over here is the live view that is available here. So once you're done with playback, you want to go back to live view, just click on the eyeball and it'll bring you back to live view. I could speed up the progression of how fast I'm viewing that live view, all the way up to 64 times. My playback controls. When I find the recorded information that I want, I can click on export clips. I could change the time, the amount of time that I want to export, then click that blue checkbox, view my status bar. As soon as that's up to 100, it goes to a green check mark, and then click on the folder. Okay, it automatically pops up wherever your backed up video is downloaded to, so you don't have to go searching everywhere on your computer trying to figure out where the heck it just downloaded that backed up video. Okay, so I just have to open up the folder, click the standalone player, and it automatically will start playing my backed up video. All right, so that was for one camera, but say you need multiple cameras that you need to go and search the data on, and then you want to back up multiple cameras. We can do that easily with VAST2 as well. Okay, so you'll choose your different cameras that you want to view. We will click the playback button on one of the view cells. Choose your date and time that you're looking for. if I need to go back to live view, I have that available as well. Now right here, this synchronized playback. So if the date and time is correct on what we're playback, then if I want to view all of these cameras at the same date and time, I will click this chain link in order to get my synchronized playback for all of them. Okay, and then I can speed up and slow down the playback speeds. And whenever I'm ready to export, I'll click this export button. Choose the amount of time that I want to back up, and then blue check mark. Pay attention to your progress bar. And then once again, just click on that blue folder and it'll automatically show up wherever you downloaded that backed up footage. Okay, so this is going to have backed up all 4 of those cameras for the time length that I requested. And it's going to play back in that same layout that I had there. So if I say wanted to have a different layout as well, maybe I wanted the one large camera and 5 smaller views surrounding it. If I had that layout set up, then I would have received that same layout whenever I do my playback with my standalone player as well. All right, let me go ahead and show you how to do the layouts and view tours. Really easy, so we can have it set up to however you want to be viewing this the camera views. So at the top, you can you have many different options available that are already preset. Okay, so I have a 1+9, so 1 large view and 9 surrounding camera views. I can have, I'll choose here the 4x4, and then the 3x3. I can also customize my view as well. So if you notice right here on the camera view, the selected camera view, there is going to be a circle at the corner. So if I were to grab that and then drag it, I can customize that view for that one camera. Right here as well, I'm going to do the same thing for my fisheye and then create a better view for that one. Okay, I want to show you the panoramic cameras and how you can customize that. So grab that side panel, find my MS9321, drag that over. I will grab that circle and then drag it all the way to the end so I have a nice, beautiful panoramic view of this 4-sensor camera. All right, in order to create this or add this as a new view, what I'm going to do is right click on a view cell and then I'll create add a view. Okay, I'll rename it. Let me go ahead and create another view that I want to add to my tour. So right click, add a view, rename this one as well. And for this one, we'll just rename it to 2. Now at the top, I can grab the add a tour or camera tours option. Okay. And then since I don't have any tours available, I can click on the plus sign to create a tour. So let's go ahead and create a tour name. So we'll just call this one test. And next we're going to add views to the tour. So I need to open up my side pane again. We're under views and then just click on the views that I want to add. So we've added views 1 and 2. If you notice at the top left of each view, we can change the time of the duration of that view. Now with the newest VAST2, we can also enable audio tours. So if any of your cameras have the microphones enabled, you can do an audio tour as well of that. So we can change we'll go ahead and change the duration of view 2 as well. Click on add tour. So we've just created our tour. So now it's going to flip back and forth between views 1 and 2. Okay, click on play for that tour, and now it will just keep flipping back and forth between the views that I created until I stop it. We can use multiple monitors with VAST2, so we can view a bunch of different cameras at the same time. Very simple to use. So let's say this is my main monitor and I have VAST2 running on there, and you'll notice here I have 3 tabs open. So all I have to do is right click on that tab and I can tell it to send it to screen. So whenever you have a screen that it's already showing on, it'll just flash the number. So let's go ahead and send the second tab over to screen 1. We'll right click on the next tab and then tell it to send it to screen 2. So now I can have 3 different screens showing the cameras however I want them to be viewed. And this is the number of screens that you can view it on is limited to your hardware. All right, adding new cameras. So if you add new cameras to your system that they weren't there whenever you first install it, super simple. All we have to do is go into settings. Under device, click cameras. Click the plus sign to add a camera. It's going to automatically search your network. Just check the camera that you want to add. Click authorize. You're going to enter in the username and password for that camera. Go ahead and click add. Once it's done, we can go to our live view and add it to our view cell. So there's the FD9360 that we just added, and we could just drag and drop it into the view cell. So this adding new sites means you're going to be adding NVRs to your VAST2. Okay, so whenever we start this off, I first need to show you that we need to go into the NVR first. Okay, so this is the NVRs UI. We're logged into our NVR with a web browser. Then I'm going to go to settings, network service. Make sure that this is turned on. Okay, we're going to make sure under CMS and iViewer that the allow access button is checked. You want to take a look at your VAST2 port. So this one's going to be 443, which it says it's the same as your HTTPS. And then we're going to go ahead and set up a password for VAST2. Click on apply. And now we can go to VAST2. We'll go to settings again. Under device, go to sites. Here we can hit the plus sign and we can manually enter in the IP address. Make sure that the port is correct. As you notice here, it's not. It was set for 3443, so we just change it to 443 and click add, and automatically it populates on the left-hand side. Now I'll show you how to do this automatically with the wizard. So we'll delete this one, click add, and then you can search your network for sites. Check the one that you want to add, authorize it with the password we just created in that NVR. Click apply. And now we can go to live. Open up our side panel. I could just drag and drop that folder to show, it'll give me 4 of the cameras that are available from that one NVR. In the settings menu, I want to show you a couple of other options that are available to use in the settings menu. So top right, click on settings. Settings again. And now we can make changes to our recording options. Okay, so if I choose the default group, this is where all of my storage information is going to be. I can change where we're recording the data to. I can change the schedule for each camera. Right here for seamless recording, let me give you a little information on this. So what seamless recording is it's going to safeguard that critical video in the occurrence that the network disconnects. Okay, so if there is a temporary disconnection, video is going to be stored in the individual camera's SD cards. Okay, and then once the connection is restored, the VAST server can then automatically resume the recording. All right, and then you have the activity adaptive stream. So basically what this is it's going to activate the frame rate control according to an alarm trigger. So by frame control, that means that whenever there's a triggered alarm, the frame rate will raise up to the value you've configured on the video quality page. All right, we'll go ahead and click apply. Let's go ahead and go back to the settings menu. We can create alarms just by clicking on that plus sign. So here you'll see that we can do cameras, sites, and then external devices as well. Add triggers. So just depending on what you're looking for, we have motion detection, infrared. We also have a VCA. So for this one, we'll choose line crossing detection and choose a camera that supports it. So we'll do the MS9390. Add an action. So different actions that we have available. We can start recording, send an email, go to the EMAP, okay, sound an alarm. This one we're going to choose add a bookmark. So that way if some line was crossed, then it's going to save that video as a bookmark. So that way it doesn't get recorded over later on and I can easily find it later. I can create new users and customize what they can do. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a username. So we'll just call this one user. If I have Active Directory account, I create the password here, and here's where I can control what they can do. So I'll choose customize, and I can control whether they can have any configuration permissions, and then operating permissions as well. Okay, say if I only want them to be able to view live footage, then I can just give them that option there. Okay, accessible devices, say I have a couple of cameras that I don't want somebody to be able to view other than myself or administrators, then I can change the access there. And you can remove users from here as well, really simple. All right, last thing that I'll go over in settings is going to be system preferences. This is where you can change where your export location is located, okay? So where all of your backup video is going to. If you don't know where it is, this is where you could change it. If you want to move it to somewhere else, like say you want it on your desktop, you can change it from here. All right, you could change if you wanted to save as a JPEG or PNG, and then for if you want the standalone player to export as well. Right here on Startup tab, you can tell if you want it to start up as soon as you start up the computer, and then also what camera views that you want to start up. I'm going to go over that with this one. So I want to set up startup views. Let me go ahead and show you how to do that, because you know, whenever you're starting up VAST2, if you don't have this set up, it just gives you blank view cells and you have to constantly just keep on adding. So let's go ahead and show you how to set up your starting views. So right click, once you have the view that you want it to start up with, you'll right click on a view cell, create a new view. For this one, we're just going to call it a 4cam view. Okay, go to settings. Once again, we're going to go under system and preferences. scroll down to on startup. Right here, what I have it doing is as soon as I start up my VAST2, I want it to show that on screen 1, I want view 2 that we created earlier to show up on screen 1. On screen 2, I want the view 1 to show up. And then for screen 3, I want this new 4-cam view that I just created to show up. Once I'm done there, I'll click apply. Let me go ahead and close out of VAST2. Reopen it, and then this screen is going to be my screen 3 that you're viewing right now, so you get to see my 4-cam view with all of my cameras automatically populated. Okay, everyone, that was some of the basics to getting your software installed, set up, and ready to view your cameras. For more information and more tutorials, please visit our website at vivotech.com/VAST2. Okay, if you go to /VAST2 #learn, that's going to be where you can view all of our different tutorials online.